Hello, everyone. My name is Jaquise Moore. I am the host of Learning with Jasmine. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming on. I am not a professional doctor, so I'm just letting you know I'm not just doing this. I'm just a mom who has a child who has autism. And I was a little stressed for a while. I'm better now. And Learning with Jasmine, Let's Chat has actually helped me and so many families. I know because I hear the stories. You guys message me of the different topics. So right now, this is super exciting. It's a different way of doing Let's Chat, okay? A really good friend of mine, I'm gonna ask her to introduce herself. And but there is a little special treat, you guys. Woo! At the end. All right, so I want her to introduce herself and her job profession.
Peace, 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 everybody that's on the feed. Thank you for joining in with us. My name is Dee Renee, and I am a yoga sharer. Most of you know it as yoga teacher. I call it sharing because all I'm doing is sharing my gift with you guys. And in turn, hopefully it will provide a benefit for you. So I've been teaching yoga since about 2017, practicing since about 2014. I guess we'll talk about the benefits of yoga as we go along, but that's who I am. I'm a yoga sharer.
Yes. All right. So we're just going to dive into it because we have a special presentation, you guys, at the end. Okay. So first we want to talk about what is stress and how does stress affect the body?
All right, peace. That's great. So I actually wrote a few things down. So if I look down, it's because I'm just making sure I have all my notes together.
Awesome.
All right. So stress is an overwhelming amount of emotion, mental tension, which can come from situational or very demanding circumstances. And it puts our brain in a bit of a frenzy, right? But not only our brain, it puts our body in a bit of a frenzy too. So when we're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, a lot of times we tense up, right? We're all tense. And then everyone's like, oh man, why are you so tense and everything? So that's what I have for the definition of stress. And yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're talking about tension, like what areas of the body are most likely to have tension and how it affects emotions?
All right, so that's a really good question. Areas of the body that tend to be affected are your neck, your back, and your shoulders, right? You kind of like think of the saying like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, right? So just a minute ago, we talked about how overwhelming stress can be. So when a weight is lifted off your shoulders, you're no longer feeling tense, right? So what was the second part of your question? I know that you talked about the effects of the body, but did you say
effects of emotions? How does it everything when you feel tense, there's emotions. It comes along with it. I mean, right. At least for me, it does. Like if my back is hurting, I'm very emotional.
So then when it brings us into an emotional state, that can affect our eating habits. It can affect the way we're thinking. It can also affect like us just being in a stagnant place. And then if we're in a stagnant place, we're not moving. So we're not bringing motion to our body. And without motion, we're now allowing our body to come into some type of effects that may not be beneficial for us. You know, because with no mobility of the body, then you can start to ache, be in pain. So like if you try to bend over to pick up a remote control, the next thing you're doing, you're putting your hand on your back like, ouch, where did that pain come from? So this all can derive from stress.
Right, exactly. And can't sleep. Like you were saying about eating habits, you're either eating too much
or not at all.
Right? And so that comes along, you're feeling frustrated, you're tired, all, that's how Learning with Jasmine started for me, you guys. I was frustrated and tense and everything that goes along with it. And I had to like really talk to someone like, okay, what is going on with my body? And then like, okay, well, that's why you're not sleeping well, because you're all tense up. You're not really, so it does have play a lot. It connects, everything connects.
Right.
Okay, so now that we understand, and then this is actually the talk today is going to be a little brief because we are really into the well, at least I am. And I'm going to replay this. I'm not going to do this live, you guys. I was thinking about doing this live, but I'll wait.
Oh, just join in. You might like it.
Yeah, but we're going to dive into the second part of the talk, you guys. First, why is stretching so important? And then we will have the opportunity to have a presentation, you guys, from Dee. You guys, so wherever you are, well, if you're listening, don't do it when you're driving, you guys, but just you make sure you guys play back and enjoy the moment. Okay, so why is stretching important?
Okay, so before we can even jump into why stretching is important, we need to go into the fundamentals of why breathing is important.
Oh, yeah.
I want to touch on that because right now you guys are like, we're breathing, we're doing great. I'm already breathing. So why do you always tell me, keep breathing? Notice with any exercise form, whether it's a personal trainer or whether you're running, even when you go to the doctor's office, they're saying, take a big breath. We have such a shallow breath when we breathe, right? So we don't even notice that we're breathing because it's so shallow. So the important part of any type of stretching is the breath. And I'm going to go through some techniques of breathing first before we get into the stretching. And you guys, you can do this with me because we're not moving the body yet. But I will say that with breathing, it's far more important than the stretching. Because once you allow the breath to flow through your body, think of it like a highway. The breath is going down the highway, clearing out any type of blockages and creating space so that you can get into those stretches better. Notice whenever you're in a stretch that you may find discomfort, you're not breathing. You're holding your breath. You're tensing up in your shoulders. You're allowing yourself to be stressed. You're creating issues in your tissues. And we don't want that, right? So
issues in your tissues. Okay.
So if you're driving, don't do this. But
yeah, don't do that.
If you're sitting here with me right now and you're taking in this conversation, just for a moment, maybe close your eyes. I want you to take the biggest inhale that you can think of through your nostrils. So imagine you're smelling a bed of roses or some flowers that you really enjoy. You're just taking a full inhale through your nose. Then just hold up at the top of your inhale. Then slowly let it out your mouth. Flutter your eyes open real quickly. I just want you to notice on that exhale how everything just kind of came right back down. Right. So as you inhaled, everything was lifting up, rising, right? Your belly was even getting full. But on your exhale, everything was like coming right back down, letting you know it's okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right here because I even thought about posture. Posture is really good when you're breathing. So how can we sit? We can't do like this and breathe.
Right, yeah, because when you sit like that, you're constricting all your breathing passages. So it's nice to sit upright. And most times, if you're sitting down, let's say on the floor, or even if you're in a chair, put a blanket right at your seat.
Well, I got my pillow. You guys.
Or your pillow, right? Yeah, you can put it right like where that tailbone at the bottom of that is at. And it helps you to just sit up a little bit. And so when you sit up straight, you can first pull your shoulders up and then roll them back down behind you, right? And so now you're sitting up straight. So if you have your shoulders coming forward and a hunch in your spine, so if you're like this, your breathing's not going to be that effective, right? But if you allow yourself to sit up, roll those shoulders back and relax and then breathe
that sounds good.
First of all, you're elongating your spine and you're allowing the passageway of the breathing to flow. through you? So that was a very good question. So on your own time, I really want you guys to practice. Well, when we do the yoga, I want you to practice breathing like that as well. Okay. So I think I answered the question about breathing. So why is stretching so important?
Yes.
So as we get older, yes, we are all getting older. We don't like to talk about this. When you wake up first thing in the morning, you notice the stiffness in maybe your low back, right?
Yes.
You notice in your neck, like, oh man, maybe I slept wrong or whatever it may be. Stretching helps to aid in those areas. The more you stretch, it's almost like giving your body an oil change, right? So the more you stretch, you're allowing fluidness to flow through your body. And then that way, when you get up in age and you're like getting older, I don't want to put an age out there, but when you're getting older, it won't be so hard for you to move. But also you'll have less chances of having to get like a hip replacement, knee replacements, all those things. So that's why stretching is most important, especially if you do have injuries. Notice whenever you get an injury, they send you to physical therapy, right? Physical therapy, and most times the stretching that they're offering is yoga stretching.
It sure is.
So that's why stretching is important.
Okay, so so my back has been hurting since the epidural almost 9 years ago. Okay, and so it was to the point on my left side. My doctor said, if you had a major injury, it could possibly, you will probably not have any feeling on your left side. That's how bad, because and I don't want to scare anybody who's about to have the epidural, but they hit a nerve in the back. And so it has to have the tension. So ever since I went to PT years ago, they said stretching every day. Every time I wake up in the morning, I stretch, and each and every time I feel better. Now throughout the day, whatever life brings, emotion comes in the back pain or the whatever. But when I stretch, you guys, it does feel good. And so this is definitely what we're going to enjoy in a few. Okay. Now, again, you can always replay this. You can share it. You can copy and paste the link and, encourage people, but definitely make this a time that you guys can stretch, whatever that looks like. And so Dee is actually going to give us, I guess, stretching on the floor and stretching in the chair. She will also, at the end of the video, well, when the video ends, I will tag her. And then also I'm asking you, Dee, to write on the comment of your YouTube channel. You guys, she has a YouTube channel. Can you tell us a little about YouTube channel? And then you can put on the comment.
So my YouTube channel has a plethora of things, because not only am I a yoga sharer, I'm also very into, health as well. So with that being said, into investment. So if you come to my YouTube channel, you're going to get the yoga, you're going to find out ways of how you can invest your money smart. Those things are important to me. So that's what my YouTube channel is Dee Renee. But of course, I'll tag that in the comments afterwards. And I'll also tag my Instagram where you can find me. And Facebook, she'll tag me so that you can find me on and my website. All of that.
We got all of it, you guys. Like I said, this is a different type of Let's Chat, you guys. Usually it's like real professional, whatever. And now this is like kind of like, it's still professional, but it's laid back and getting a good stretch. But this is actually, I feel like as parents, we're in this, everyone is in this pandemic together. This is a lot of stress. This month in Learning with Jasmine, Let's Chat, we're talking about social and emotional. Within the social and emotional, it is common with that moment when everything is all up here, to feel tension. And so in the midst of everything, we want to make sure that our bodies are relaxed. Our bodies are safe and healthy. Okay. And so I think this is a really good tool. Everyone, guys, bring in the kids, everything, replay this, because this is definitely, and redo these stretches, you guys. Like I said, like she said, go on her channel and continue on stretching, because it's for our body, it's for our mind, it's for our spirit. So, okay, Renee, you have the floor.
All right. So before we get started with any postures, we will revisit how to breathe correctly, and also know that yoga is for everyone. I don't want you to think that it's just partial to just some people, like only these people are able to do yoga. The biggest myth with yoga is I'm not flexible enough. I don't think you know how many times I heard people say, I would do yoga, but I'm not flexible enough. Stop it, because stop saying that, because yoga is here to get you to that point of your flexibility. Notice I said the word your flexibility. So don't get so caught up with what you see in media, you know, as far as like what yoga looks like. You know, yoga is for you. So that could be for your mind, that could be for your body, it could be for your spirit, emotional distress, all those things. So with that, we're going to practice the breathing again. And then we're going to do some chair yoga first. Then we're going to do some standing yoga. And then we're going to finish with laying down yoga. That's the best way to do it, right? You want to finish laying down. Hopefully you guys don't go to sleep. So I'm going to back up just a little bit, all right?
Yes.
So that you can see everything.
Right. I'm zipping my lips.
I want to make sure you can see me. You can nod your head if you can still see me. All right.
Yes.
Cool. So we're going into the breathing. So it's completely up to you if you want to close your eyes. Again, let's sit up straight. Take those shoulders up and right back down your spine. Right? You can relax your hands on your, if you're sitting in a chair, you can just relax them on your thighs or your knees. If you're cross-legged, you can just kind of place them in the same position. It all depends on where you are. And I want you to begin to breathe in through your nose like we did earlier. Slowly out the mouth. We're going to do that 3 more times, just like that. Breathe in through your nose. Out your mouth. Last time. Let it out. Beautiful. So we're going to incorporate a different type of breathing. It's still very similar, but this time we're going to close up our mouth and just let it out our nostril the whole time. So take one of your hands. I'm taking my right hand. I want you to put it on your belly. As we're getting ready to breathe, I want you to allow that belly to like kind of push out. So your inhale is pushing the belly out, okay? And your exhale is sending the belly in. So a lot of times we breathe from our chest because that's what we're used to, right? So we're actively trying to breathe from our diaphragm. So matter of fact, make the intention to breathe from your diaphragm, all right? So let's try it again. Inhale in through your nose. Good, and out through your nose. Just notice how different that is. We're going to try that twice more. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your nose. Last time. Beautiful. You can place your hand right back on your knee. If you had trouble breathing like that, or you had trouble with your belly moving forward, put a 2 in the chat. And if you found that you were able to do it, put a 1 in the chat so that I can just know who I'm dealing with moving forward if we do work together, so I can help you in those areas. All right. So I'm going to take off my shoes. If you have a chair, I'm just going to sit here. All right. Get nice and comfortable sitting in your chair. We're going to do 2 stretches of each thing. Okay. So right now we're just sitting in our chair. We're going to inhale. So this is a good way to practice your inhale. Inhale, sweep the arms over the crown of your head. Exhale, right back down. Good. I like to do things in threes, so 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. All right, 1 more. Exhale. Beautiful. We're going to take this left hand. I want you to bring it to the outside of the right part of the chair, and you're going to kind of grip it. You want to make sure you have a nice hold on it. As you're holding it, I want you to lift that right hand up and then take it over to the left side. So now you're stretching in that rib cage on the right side body. All right. And as you breathe, you get to breathe through the parts of your ribs and expand in your lungs. So go ahead, breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. You have 2 more. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. 1 more. You can wiggle your fingers if they feel like they're getting a little restless. Good. Bring your hands right back down, hands on your knees. At any time, if you like, you can always roll the shoulders up and back down, especially if your body's not used to doing any of this yet. You want to let your body know that all of this is safe, right? So it's almost like you're having a communication with your body. Your body's letting you know, hey, this might be a little bit too much for me. And then you listen to that and you only go to your point. You don't force anything. All right. We're going to take the right hand this time, bring it to the left side of the chair and make sure you got a nice grip of it. Then inhale, use your hand, take that left hand up and over, breathe. One more. I'm sorry, 1 more. Gotta bring the hand right back down, right onto your thighs. All right, and this is our last stretch for our chair pose. And we're just going to take a spinal twist, which will be very good for you because with the epidural, and I had one before, so I completely understand what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So we are going to take our right hand again, bring it to the left part of the chair. You're holding on to it. You're going to take that left hand. You're going to sweep it behind you and see if you can reach for the right part of the chair. Any part of the right chair, and then go ahead and take your gaze to the back of the room. So you're twisting. And again, let's just begin to breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. 1 more. Beautiful. Just swing your torso back to the front. And what I like to do from motions like that where you're twisting, just kind of move my body from side to side. Let that go. That's that fluidness that I'm talking about, right?
You do this when you guys are standing up. I do this all the time.
Definitely. All right, we're going to take that to
the music in your head, just do it.
Yes, we're going to take that to the opposite side. So left hand will now come on to the right side. Right hand sweeps behind you on the right side, and then go ahead and grab the left side of your chair. Offer yourself a twist, and remember you have an upright spine, a proud chest, chin is up, and then you begin to breathe. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. 1 more. Beautiful. All right, turn back around. And again, you can just go ahead and let that go. I feel like this is always my favorite part, like the swing back and forth. I'm going to remove the chair, and then we're just going to go right into our next set of postures. So if you don't have a yoga mat, that's completely fine. And again, you can always do this at a much later time. Right now, if you want to just take a look, completely fine. Now I'm going to show you forward and back. Let me just put my hair in a ponytail real quick so that you can still see me. All right. So when it comes to issues in our low back, we want to do forward folds, right? And a lot of time, what I notice people when they do forward folds, I'm going to show you what not to do. They immediately hunch their back and you're folding like that. Do you see that?
Yes.
We don't want to do that. So if you don't have the flexibility yet to get all the way down there, you're going to slightly bend your knees. Keep that long spine, hinge from the hips, and then allow yourself to come forward. All right. So the reason why you do it this way is because you're not stretching in the hamstrings. You're not pulling on the hamstrings, and you're getting more of the stretch in the low back area. Okay. And another important factor is put more weight in the balls of your feet than in the heels. And then let the head hang down like that. Because remember, we're trying to let go of the tension. And most times when we hold on to the tension, we're clenching in our neck and our jaw. We want to relax all those things. Very next thing to do, inhale, sweep the hands all the way up. One up, bring the hands to touch up at the top.
That feels good.
Exhale, hands at your heart. Good. Now I want to show the ones who may be able to have the knees straight. So you have the option to either bend in your knees or to have them straight. But even so, if you're with the straight knees, I like to bring my hands to my hips because it's letting me know this is where I'm folding from, right? So I'm lifting tall in my spine. I'm using my exhale, so breathing out, and I'm folding forward, all right? And you're just going to your point. You'll begin to feel this in your calf and your hamstrings, and then you can allow your hands to come down to its point. Again, more weight in the balls of the feet. It becomes slightly a different stretch with the knees straight because now you're incorporating the hamstrings. And just breathe in through your nose and breathe out. Let's do one more breath. Beautiful. Let's sweep the hands all the way up. Grab all that energy, all that abundance. Then when you get to the top, hands at your heart center. How did that feel for you?
That was great. Yes.
All right. Good. All right. So the very next thing, we're actually going to get down on our knees. But if you have knee injuries or knee problems, grab a pillow or a blanket to cushion the knees. Okay. And again, you can try this later. This is another one for the back.
I want to try this later because I don't have a lot of space
Listen,
in here.
At this point, I'm going to try it later, and that's completely fine.
I'm going to try it later because I have a lot of space, but definitely you guys, yes.
All right, I'm going to just show you where we're going. You'll come down just like this, right? You have your shoulder right over your wrist, hips over top of your knees. Fingers are webbed wide, like that. All right? And all you're going to do is drop your belly, tailbone goes up, gaze goes up on your inhale. On your exhale, curve the spine, press the mat away, tuck the chin. This is really good for the abdominal, the spine, the low back. Drop the belly, lift the gaze.
Yes.
This is called cat and cow pose.
Yes.
Let's do one more, just like that. And another thing I want to add for a modification, say your wrist, you're like, my wrist hurt, I can't do that. You can make fist. Okay? So you have the option. Say you're like, I don't like being like that. I don't want to do that. Come down to your forearms.
Great.
These are all the options you have, even in your forearms. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, curve the spine, tuck the chin. Okay, so I don't want you to think like you're limited and you can't do these things because you very well can. Now we're going to lay down. Yes, we're making our way to the bed. This is like the favorite thing that a lot of people like to do. I feel like most of my postures are right now catered to the back because that's what you mentioned today.
Right.
All right, so as you're laying down, I'm walking my heels in towards my bathroom muscles, okay? I'm just going to take a moment and allow myself to breathe in this space. I'm allowing my shoulders to relax. I'm letting everything go. So the tension that I may have been holding on to, releasing it. Just breathe. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this left leg, hug the knee in towards the body. All right. So this is the modification. You can keep the right one bent, just like how it is. Can you see me well enough?
Yes.
Okay. And even while you're doing this, you're using a hand to pull the shin in towards the chest, but at the same time, you're relaxing the shoulder. All right. And if you're like, I mean, I feel the stretch, but not really, you can always straighten the leg long.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an option. All right, we're going to bring this down. We're just going to move it over to the opposite side. So whatever you do on one side, you want to make sure you do on the opposite side. And you want to do it for about 3 to 5 breaths. Okay, so again, the shoulders are relaxed. You're using your hands to really press down on the shin. Never the knee joint. Never the knee, right? We want to keep the knee protected. So it's always right below the knee on the shin. And you're just pulling it in. Breathe in. And again, the option to straighten that leg if you need a little bit more.
Yeah, that feels good.
All right. Moving from this posture, I want you to hug both knees in towards the body. You just wrap your arms around the shin. You guys are going to love this one so much because you're allowing yourself to stretch that low part of the back. And then at the same time, you'll just rock from side to side. So it's my recommendation to do this on the floor, only because if it's a hard surface, it plays as a massage for your back. Right? And all you're doing is just rocking from side to side. All right, bring your feet down, and then you'll just stretch them long. Now, mind you, if taking a Shavasana pose hurts your low back, like if it arches too much, you can always bring your feet right back to this and take your Shavasana like this. It allows your back to just relax more, and you don't have to worry about this small arch that it creates. But if you have no issue with this, you can just straighten your legs. You can also get a pillow and put it right where their arch is, okay? You can also get it. My hair is playing as a pillow right now, but you can get a pillow, bring it either at the back part of your neck or right at your head and kind of relax here and just take those same breathing methods that I showed you in the beginning. All right, and the way that you get up, again, you just hug yourself in and begin to create momentum. You just come up to a nice easy seat. Take a full inhale. Exhale out. And then you'll just feel good. Notice that it didn't even take that long for us to do those postures. You don't need to spend a whole bunch of time getting started. It's once you get started, you can decide to add more time in. But you don't need to spend a ton of time. You just want to get your body familiar with these postures. And I hope this segment helped someone or anyone. Do you have any questions? No, I guess you can drop them. You guys can let me know.
Yes. All right. Okay, so just letting you guys know, I saw Dee's post about stretching, and I was like, oh, maybe I can ask her. So I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you, Dee. Thank you for your time and your recommendations. Again, you guys, drop the information below and she will contact you. And Dee, right after.
I'm also going to drop my stuff as well.
Right yes, you guys. Oh my goodness. Thank you all. Dee, you want to say something before you go?
It's important that you focus on your breathing. So, and I'm not just talking about the quick inhale and exhale, but throughout your day, if you can be mindful, it's all about mindfulness and awareness, right? Those two things kind of go hand in hand. Being aware that, oh, I'm taking shallow breaths. So maybe being mindful that you're going to try to take a full inhale, kind of like to the doctor's office, give me a big inhale, right? And then take an exhale. If you're in traffic and someone's getting on your nerves, because I know people get on my nerves when I'm driving, instead of cussing them out at that moment, take that big inhale and exhale. You'll be so surprised. You'll start laughing at people rather than cussing them out.
Wow.
So breathing is that fundamental and it's so vital.
Yes. Okay. All right, you guys, social emotional, we're still going to continue on. We have a couple more this month. And then you guys, next month, we're going to be talking about community. I think this is so big. Having connection. We talk about school, we talk about home, we talk about bodies, and we're going to be talking about our community. So you guys, until next time, enjoy. All right. Thank you, Dee.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Peace.